All right, welcome everyone to the Solana Community Validator discussion, May 25th, 2023. Agenda today, so normal validator updates. There's going to be a validator educational workshop next week on Wednesday. And also right after that, a community-led validator call focusing on validator key management. So definitely worthwhile to check that out. After the updates and announcements, we'll have an open discussion if there's anything else people want to bring up, talk about. So first major update, major win for validators. 96% of stake has adopted 1.14.17, which is great news. I don't want to jinx it, but the rollout process, I think, has been a great success so far. 1.14 has been tested extensively on Testnet. And the slow week-by-week rollout of 1.14, I think, was a big success for everyone. Happy to hear feedback from anybody on, what they thought of the new process. But I think overall, feedback's been great. I think the 1.14 slow rollout progression from 10% to 25% to 100% adoption has been really positive. So again, any feedback on the process for the release cycle would be great, but I think it's been good so far. Okay, so an overview of the 1.14.17 release. There is a thread here that I'll put in the notes. So let me copy that or in the chat. This thread kind of goes into an overview of all things that are in the release. So summarizes everything and then links out to other parts, I guess, subparts of the release. The things that I think are most important for validators, starting in 1.14, there's a new flag called Enable Accounts Disk Index, which essentially takes the accounts index that previously lived all in memory and puts it on disk, but then has a cache in memory for the more active accounts. And the plan is going into 1.16 for this to be the default. So if anyone has limited memory and performant NVMe SSDs, ideally you have your ledger and your accounts on two separate disks. This might be something you experiment with and see if you get better performance or lower memory requirements from your validator. Another change that I'm sure Zentetsu is interested in is this compact vote state change. So you'll notice here, the compact vote state is sort of a prereq for getting the timely vote credits SIMD out. So moving along, it's, a slow process, but hopefully that is out soon. Oops. And the last thing, I saw Steve just joined. This is something that Steve brought up in the 1.14 release. The startup time should be much improved compared to 1.13. So this next slide talks about it. The key takeaway here is, as an operator, there's been sort of a advice going around, I think, among operators to blow away account state and just download a new snapshot and restart that way. That is just historically not a good practice for the network and for your validator, but especially now in 1.14, you should see much better performance if you keep your local state and restart with no snapshot fetch instead of deleting local state. I did this just as a quick test. So I have a mainnet RPC server. I restarted using no snapshot fetch and preserve local state, and I saw a total time of about 12 minutes to do a restart. With the local state deleted, I saw a total time of about 18 minutes, which included 5 minutes of downloading the new snapshot, and then about 13 minutes of catching back up. So just in this quick test, it's pretty clear that I'm getting better performance with local state, but in general, it's just a good idea to preserve local state, use no snapshot fetch, and just always try to work from your local state instead of getting state from elsewhere. Steve, if there's anything there you want to add or any additions to that, would be helpful, let me know.
I think you basically covered it. The only thing I'll say is there was a bug in 1.13 where I guess the GitHub issue isn't linked here, but essentially you'd replay so many slots, and then like accounts DB would do things for like 5 to 10 minutes. That'd slow it down. That bug has been resolved. So 1.13, absolutely. Like I get it. You know, validators, you guys are trying to keep your uptime, like minimize restart time. But 1.14, that bug goes away. So yeah, the wipe your local state for a faster restart is fixed. So echoing, yeah, you covered it there, Tim. But yeah, echoing that. Go ahead, Zan.
Yeah, sorry. The previous screen, I was just double checking something. So when you mentioned the compact vote state thing, I just want to make it clear doesn't have anything to do with the timely vote credits. That's it's not that the compact vote state is really compact vote state update, which is a enhancement to the vote state update transaction, which is supposed to be a replacement for the regular vote transaction. But the vote state update can't be really rolled out until they do this compact thing, because the vote state update transactions end up being just too big and unwieldy. So they have this compression technique to sort of like reduce the size of those transactions.
Right.
I mean, I am not a huge fan of this vote state update thing. I think it makes tracking vote very difficult, because you have to basically run a tower just to figure out what votes have done. And those of us who want to and do run, you know, sites to try to track vote credits and stuff, it makes it very, very difficult to do that, because you basically have to run a validator just to know what the state of votes are. And I think there are other ways to solve what compact vote state does, but we can go with that. That's a separate topic. But I just want to make it clear that's not the timely vote credits thing. Timely vote credits did have a change that went in, but it's only mainline. It's not backported, and it's probably not going to get backported anytime soon. And there are actually 2 changes that have to go for that. But anyway, just wanted to clarify there.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe this last line was not entirely the point, but feel free to read through the whole summary here. I think it does a decent job of summarizing what Zentetsu just talked about, essentially what compact vote state is and why it was chosen, why it was implemented. All right, so yeah, I think these are the major changes that validators are probably interested in. Again, key takeaway here, always preserve local state whenever possible. Once you start your validator for the first time, ideally you should never have to get another remote snapshot again. But, you know, stuff happens. Sometimes you do.
Quick thing there, Tim. I mean, I will say there's one bug that Jeff Bissett and I are tracking. Zentetsu actually hit this with his backup node earlier this week, and so we've been digging pretty deep. So like I mean, I guess there's only 10 people in this call, so it's not speaking to the broad community, but in case people are watching this, like if your node fails to start up, like if you start your node and it doesn't like boom or crash or something, like definitely let us know. Like that's not normal. Like I get it, like you want to get your node back online as fast as you can. So like, you know, wipe ledger, do whatever, but like definitely report those bugs, because we want to make that better. And yeah, so like please, you know, save off your log, save off your ledger or whatever, and then restart. But like file the report, like tag me in Discord, I don't care. Like we want to fix these things. So please report them. We can't reproduce all these things all the time because we're not running 2,000 nodes. So
is there a GitHub issue you want to put in here? Or?
I mean, there's a recent one. It's hard to say. Everyone takes everyone is, you know, it could be something different, but there is one. I'll post a link right here. I won't take any more time, but yeah, there's one. It's we've narrowed it down. It kind of looks like a repair protocol issue, but
okay.
It could be a multitude of things. So everyone deserves some attention. So again, if your node fails to catch up on reboot, please, you know, tag, you know, I'm Stevie Z on Discord. Tag me. I want to look into it. So we're trying to make these things better. So
that
yeah.
issue I had, it was real? I thought it was just like a Jitto thing or some other weird thing. It like a real issue?
No, there's like I mean, I don't know if you've seen I think we tagged you correctly on GitHub, but Jeff and I are looking into it, and there's like we've seen this intermittently. We were hitting on one of our nodes, and we kind of dismissed the issue because we actually happened to be running 2 nodes with the same keys. And so basically when we were running 2 nodes with the same keys, which means that the node that's trying to catch up was like not getting like shreds because the contact info and gossip was like basically one was getting the shreds, one was not. But we actually think there is some like non-deterministic issue at startup. So I had an idea that like hit me like earlier this afternoon. I wanted biking after that, so I haven't actually had the time to pursue it yet. But we think there is actually some bug there. But in general, yeah, like the like, hey, like if your node doesn't work, just restart it. I get it, but again, please report it, and you would. We don't want that to be the case moving forward. So let us know, bug us. Like that's something we need to work on. It's again, even if you restart it in the middle of the night, do it, and then send us a note like, hey, I had to do this to get my node running. So yeah, we want to fix those bugs.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for the note. I put your Discord handle in the chat. So if people are having issues, you could tag Stevie Z in Discord. Of course, make sure to check validator support first. Just like, give the rundown of what's going on. I don't want Steve to get a billion messages about like the wrong version of the software.
Yeah, I mean, even then this week, like we're pushing for the version upgrade. So I was happy to help people with wrong versions or dumb things. But yeah, like it's good, right? There's a whole validator community, so everybody helps each other, and a lot of people on the call here, are also people helping the newer validators. So but yeah, give us bug reports. We want to fix shit. So if something's pissing you off, like tell us.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, not much of a testnet update. Pretty much the same as last time. We're now recommending 1.14.18 for testnet. There is, or I think there was, a feature activation earlier last night, that forked off nodes that weren't running 1.14.18. So if you notice your testnet node is no longer keeping up or on the chain, it's probably because you're on an older version. Make sure you upgrade to 1.14.18. The 1.16 release should be cut soon, and in some time after that, 1.16 will be recommended for testnet. I don't have a timeline on that, just expect it to be coming in the next X number of weeks. 1.15 again was abandoned, so there will be no 1.15 release. And I think going forward, you can expect to see the same upgrade, downgrade, upgrade cycle anytime we go for a new minor version on mainnet, right? So the next time we roll out 1.16 on mainnet, hopefully we're going to be upgrading from 1.14 to 1.16, back down, then back up, and just go through that whole process before we do it on mainnet. Steve says in the comments, 1.16 sometime next week. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. All these timelines are obviously dependent on what goes on, but assuming all goes well next week, seems like a good target. Okay. Next thing I wanted to say, I'm going to have another validator educational workshop next week. I haven't actually done a validator setup just from scratch, so I'm going to do that. Obviously, that might not be super interesting to a lot of the people on this call if they're more comfortable with running their validator, but it's going to be recorded. It's going to be put in that educational workshop playlist, and I think going forward, it'll be a good resource to send out to people if they're getting confused, or just having trouble getting set up. You can always send this playlist, which I will throw in the chat as well, as a resource in case somebody is asking basic questions. And then, yeah, I should mention that's May 31st, 1700 UTC. Right after that, at 1800 UTC will be the community-led validator call. And that call is going to be focusing on key management. So Zentetsu on the call is going to be talking about VAMP, the program he built for vote account management. And then the squads protocol will also be demoing their key management for your validator with their squads multi-sig. So definitely worthwhile checking that one out as well. I believe it will be recorded, so we'll put this on YouTube also for validators who can't make it but want to see the options here. Yeah, May 31st, Wednesday at 1800 UTC. Zantetsu, do you want to say anything about VAMP since you're here?
I mean, not a lot. It's just a tool I made to try to give it a feature to people, some features to people who are interested in having them, but it's not mandatory. And I think it's nice because it gives better separation of the rights that different keys have. And additionally, it lets me script doing some things that you can't really script very well with the standard client. But I can talk about it in more detail in the other meeting. I did give a presentation that I thought was fairly comprehensive in one of our meetings here, but I'm happy to talk about it again. There's some chance I'll integrate this with squads because I had a meeting with them to talk about it, and it may be that the two combined give people some features they want, so that could be upcoming too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just thought you'd take a minute to plug it, so that sounds great. He'll talk more about that next week in the community-led call. And yeah, that's all I got. Any other questions or discussion topics people want to bring up? No. One thing I know that someone brought up in the Discord link roles channel. So I think John Wong is going to be leading that project. I get the sense he's pretty swamped. So I've got a couple tasks I'm going to do there to like get the ball rolling on that project. Blake, was it you that asked the question there? No, he just left. So anyway, if anyone's curious about the Discord link roles in order to figure out basically who actually is running which validator and how much stake they have on the network, that is something that I'm taking on, at least to get started with the project. John Wong should be able to finish it off. My goal is to have something out there and usable before the next minor release, so before 1.16 hits mainnet. Cool. Yeah, any more questions, thoughts? No, we can end early. All right, great. Thanks, everyone. See you all hopefully next week for the community call, the validator-led community call. Otherwise, the week after that, same time. Sorry, I should say, in 2 weeks, we'll do the earlier call instead of this later one. Right. Thanks,
Great.
everybody.
Catch you later, Tim.
Thanks, Steve.